prosecutor, Rudy Giuliani. Mr. Mayor, we put up on the screen last night 3 specific laws.
I saw it, and I heard your interview with my close personal friend, Judge Mukasey. He and I prosecuted a congressman many years ago, Congressman Podell, on a conflict of interest charge. And he broke down on the witness stand. He confessed it was a $42,000 bribe. And he also confessed a conflict of interest, $42,000. We have millions of dollars involved here. She should have been under investigation 2 months ago if the Justice Department was acting honorably and apolitically. The minute she announced that she destroyed anything, personal or government records, the minute she said that, everything should have been subpoenaed on day one. She got a political break that nobody else would get. General Petraeus committed a nothing compared to what she has done.
Yeah.
Whether this Justice Department can do it or not, or this administration can do it or not, this woman needs a criminal lawyer. There is any doubt there are at least a half dozen statutes where the facts suggest that she violated the law. Now, they have to be proven to be true. The conflict of interest law is very, very simple. It's 18 U.S.C. Section 208, and it says if you act in any manner in which you or your spouse has a financial interest, you're guilty. You go to jail for 2 years, and you can't hold a federal office for the rest of your life. On one hand, the president was getting millions of dollars in speaking fees. The foundation was getting millions of dollars in money, and she was taking action, unusual actions on behalf of those entities, including UBS. That's only one of 10. Destruction of any record in contemplation of an investigation is obstruction of justice. 18 U.S.C. Section 1519. Now, she voted for the change in that statute that says in contemplation of any investigation. When these records were being destroyed, there wasn't a contemplation of investigation. There were 8 House investigations going on. And how she can separate personal from government.
Well, she made the decision.
Well, but the minute you start using that phone as a government phone, I'm sorry, it's government property. Destruction of government property is a separate federal crime.
She actually sent out to her very own department that the State Department requires employees to preserve records, et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, when she was Secretary of State, she put out a cable with her name on it. Do not avoid conducting official department business from your personal email account.
Yes.
And she said she was writing her husband. Her husband doesn't have an email account.
Yeah, let's look at it this way. Somebody works for a company, right? They've got the company computer. They use it for company records and they use it for personal records. The company can look at all the records because it belongs to the company. The minute she started to use that phone as a government instrumentality, it belongs to the United States of America. It belongs to us, not to her. The destruction of that, in and of itself, is a crime. And no one has gotten into the foundation yet. And looking at the connections between what the money he was getting and what she was doing.
Amazing.
Now, maybe she destroyed those 33,000 emails because they contain those connections.
Last question, and I've got 44 U.S. Code 3101, 18 U.S. Code 1924, 2071, 18 U.S.C. Here's my last question. John Kerry says the Russians are reading his emails and the Chinese are reading his. If this is a server in a bathroom of a mom and pop shop, I've got to believe the Russians, Chinese, Iranians, Israelis, friends, enemies, that everybody has them. Now, she's running for president. Say she won. Could you imagine Vladimir comes to the White House, dumps all the emails on her desk? That would prove her guilt, that she, in fact, did have classified information on there?
Yeah, and maybe could lead to the impeachment of the American president after she gets elected. The reality is you have to count on the fact that several foreign governments have all of this. She's one of the top officials in the government and one of the most interesting people in the United States. They have this information. And if there is a single email that connects her to any of that money that Bill Clinton was getting, it goes from conflict of interest to bribery, which is a 15-year
and obstruction of justice, right?
And when she destroyed the personal emails, there were plenty of reasons for her to do it. To obstruct the Benghazi investigation, to obstruct the investigation of her leaking of her mishandling of classified information, to obstruct a possible bribery investigation. This woman should be the subject of a criminal investigation. She should be in front of a grand jury. These questions shouldn't be asked by Ed Henry, who she could just cut off. They should be asked by a federal prosecutor where an answer is demanded. And believe me, I've done many public corruption cases, and the worst witnesses are politicians. They get to lie for a lot of their lives, and once they get on the witness stand,
they can't.
All that obfuscation kills them in front of a jury.
This killer campaign, is she done?
I don't see how she survives this. This has to be investigated. The Justice Department will lose all integrity if it doesn't put her under a full and complete investigation. She has committed crimes, allegedly, possibly, that are far worse than things we've put other people in jail for, not jail, rather convicted, like General Petraeus.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.